Well, everyone wants to have the garden and yard that is the envy of the neighborhood. And every month, our friend Perry from Classic Landscapes and the Ellerslie Gift and Garden drops by with some great tips and tricks. And we're talking about sod and grass seed and basically how to keep that envious green grass growing.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year, August is a little bit of a slower time in the summer. I think, pretty soon we're going to be in September. Maybe the kids going back to school. And so what can we get done this time of year that's really going to benefit our yards and gardens? And obviously taking care of the lawn is a big one. People, like you said, like to have a nice green lawn. One of the things to understand about fertilizing the lawn, I think we all understand that it does benefit our lawn and can green things up. It actually will help the trees in your yard too. A lot of times people think about when they use fertilizer on the lawn, it's just to benefit the roots of the sod. And it definitely does do that. But any roots in the ground will benefit from that added nutrition. But again, one of the things that's key to understand this time of year, most time we use like a summer fertilizer, it has a higher first number. So just off here to my right, I have kind of a typical summer fertilizer. And you'll see that first number is nitrogen, and then we have phosphorus and potassium. Those are what they call macronutrients. You'll see that in any fertilizer container. You can see the three we have there. Now, when it's got a high first number like that, that's 32% nitrogen, which is really high. And nitrogen is great for fast growth and greening, which we're definitely into, but we also don't want to give it too much of a push in terms of nitrogen as we're heading into the fall. And I'm not going to use that nasty W word, but our trees, our turf is actually getting ready for end of season. And so this is really the last period of time right now where you can use that high nitrogen fertilizer. Once we get into September, you definitely want to lay off any high nitrogen and look at other things to improve your lawn. And
that's when you'll start to see that number dropping down when you're looking for anything.
Yeah, like you might see a fall or winterizing fertilizer and it'll have maybe like 15% nitrogen. So you definitely want to be well under 20% if you're going to be using fall fertilizer. Can you still lay sod down at this time? Yeah, for sure. You can do sod any time of year, right up into the snow flies, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and one of the keys when we're talking about laying new sod is it's actually more difficult when it's really hot outside. So it's important anytime when you lay new sod that it gets watered every day in the beginning. But honestly, after about a week, you'll be able to walk on new turf. And after a couple of weeks, you'll have to mow it. So it really does take that quickly. So it's definitely a good time to do it.
Gotcha. Anything to look for when you are picking out sod?
Well, obviously, sod is cut fresh every day, so it's one of those things that you can, like I said, get fresh, but you want to make sure that it's not old and decaying, if you will, like it's a little bit older. If it's sitting for 3 or 4 days now, maybe it's not going to look as good, not take as well. But frankly, because it is a fresh product and you're going through it every day, you really just want to look at something that's that looks green, obviously, and is healthy. A lot of times people think if they can't get to the job right away, they might water it down. That's actually going to help it decompose quicker. So just get it when you're going to be using it. So the day you're ready for it, or maybe the day before, get the sod delivered, and then you can lay it down. And again, make sure you water it. You do want to use a sod starter fertilizer. And that's going to be something with a higher middle number, which is phosphorus. It helps promotes root development and stuff like that with newer turf. All right, now let's talk about this section, fish soil. Yeah, it is one of my favorite things for improving the overall health of our turf. And people talk about top dressing, which is the idea where we add some soil. I like the fish soil because it's got composted fish soil in there. It's got peat moss. It's got composted manure. And what I actually do is I'll just cut the corner off the bag and I'll just kind of walk over and spread it along the ground. I know it's something for the neighbors to watch, but they know what I do for a living, so it's okay. There he is again. What is that smell? Well, it actually doesn't smell because it's composted, so it's great. Thank goodness. Or very little anyway. But the cats would all converge on your yard. All of those things don't happen. But what will converge is microorganisms that are going to help the turf. And so you can actually just rake it in. The soil will settle down into the blades of grass. And it's actually a great way to improve the overall health of the soil, because the soil health is the most important thing when we talk about healthy plants and healthy turf, for sure. Nice. And then, too, with regards to any of your brush, or not brush, but your bushes and your trees, anything that we should be feeding them? Well, same kind of thing. You can use that fish soil to add to the, the area of the soil. Fertilizing the plants late in the season is not a good idea because, again, it's actually the shortening days. When we have less light, the plants are getting ready for winter. So at this time of year, it's just healthy water, and just make sure you take care and do some final pruning if you need to as we head into the fall, but that's about it. Nice. And okay, well, looking
looking good for your yard and keeping it looking fabulous all through the summer, which is still on. So don't say that dreaded W word anytime soon. But thank you for coming out today and giving us some tips on how to keep it looking nice and fresh for your summer and into the fall. For more great ideas, you can check out Classic Landscaping in Ellerslie Gift and Garden. They are located at 100th Street and 6th Avenue. For more information, call 780-988-9888 or visit them online.